me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Let's go! I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, gotta feel the tension. In my thoughts.
Welcome back, everybody. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you think about this video. Today, we're going to be talking about someone that is special to a lot of Dolphin fans right now, in that the fact that we haven't had a real running back, a decent one since Ajayi, and then before that, Reggie Bush, which those guys were 1 year wonders, and they weren't, something that we could grow with. Devon Achane. Devon Achane looked spectacular in this last game that we have just played, and I wanted to talk about him for a little bit, so we'll pop the stats up. And basically 203 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then he had 4 catches for 30 yards and another 2 touchdowns. We have to consider that we have just found our franchise running back, and it's the perfect one that Mike McDaniel always wanted. We're all about speed on this team. Devon Achane falls to us in the draft, and it was just like a match made in heaven. And the thing is typically third round running backs, second and third round is kind of the sweet spot. First rounders kind of have a lot of pressure put on them, and sometimes they don't turn out, but the second and the third rounders usually are the ones that are home run hitters. Devon Achane, we have found what it looks to be like another Chris Johnson in the running back position. Yes, he's not going to be as big and as bulky, but it didn't look like he needed to. If you really look at some of the plays that Devon Achane made yesterday, they were more so just the fact that he is so slippery that it's hard to tackle him. And if you watch a lot of the stuff, he understands, which is something you can't really teach running backs. He understands where to look and what holes to get through. And now that he is not as big as some of the other running backs, he slips and slides through some of these holes, and it allows him to kind of get through some of the patches that most running backs can't do it. What I thought was interesting was his ability to find the hole. That it's a big thing for a lot of running backs to be able to diagnose which hole you need to go through and figure out how to move through these holes to get open. When you watched a lot of, and again, this is defensive line for the Denver Broncos, it's no slouch. These guys are pretty decent. You watch the defensive line, and he was able to understand where he needed to go in order to hit the hole. And that's impressive, it's the same thing with Mostert. The thing is that what people are not understanding about our running backs and why they're getting yards is that a lot of them understand where they need to go. That's due to coaching, and that's also due to the offensive line, obviously, and that's also due to the running back himself. You have to figure out which hole you need to go through and hit it as hard as you can. And some running backs, you'll hear the phrase a lot, they'll dance around, which some running backs, they are like that, where they will just dance around figuring out the hole. And what I mean by diagnosing the hole as well, which I think Devon Achane does extremely well, it's the same kind of superpower that Tua has to anticipate and accuracy. What it looked like with Devon Achane is, obviously he's super fast. So any crease, he's going to gain a lot of yardage. That's what we knew about him coming in. But what it looked like was he knew, okay, so when you have a hole, sometimes it's not a gaping wide hole. Sometimes if you just hit a little small crease, the hole starts to open up. It's almost like anticipation for where the receiver is going to be. Kind of the same thing for a running back, where you anticipate that a hole is going to open up that way by understanding a little bit about offense and defense. So you understand that maybe if I take this small crease, that guy that's coming from the right is going to block the dude that's in the middle, and then there's a crease to the outside. And what it looks like is Devon Achane seems to understand that, just like Mostert does. That's why Mostert gets yardage. Mostert is much more powerful than Devon Achane, but Devon Achane is slippery. it looked like he knew and foresaw the holes opening up. And when they tried to tackle him, he didn't go down easily. Now, of course, he's not barreling into people like Mostert, which, I mean, Mostert looked incredible, but Devon Achane is very slippery. And it's starting to look like he is going to be one of those guys that, yes, he's smaller, so you can bring him down if you can get him. But if you looked when he was in the middle of the linebackers and the offensive line, he knew how to dance to get away from some of these tackles, you know, like just the one where he gets the flick and the guy is trying to grab him, but he spins a little bit to get the guy off of him. He's hard to tackle, which is, again, another trait that you can't really teach that. That's just either you have it or you don't. And then when you saw that he was trying to get the touchdown, he is not brought down easily. He knows how to use his forward momentum and his lower body strength to push himself forward. A lot of those touchdowns, they weren't like him just walking in. He knew how to push through the defense in order to get the touchdown. I actually think that he has the perfect teacher to teach him, because Mostert started out, this is going to be one of the biggest reasons why I think Devon Achane is going to be a superstar, is actually because of Mostert. Mostert started out kind of just like him, track star, super fast, but kept getting injured. And it took him this long, but now at 30, he's realizing to put on more weight, to run more into tackles, because sometimes when you run away from tackles, that's where they get you in the knees. He's starting to put more weight, and he's starting to run into tackles. And you have the exact same version of you in Devon Achane, a young guy. So you're going to start to teach him what you have learned in your 30s now that he is 21. So what I do believe is that the teacher that Mostert is going to be excellent for Devon Achane, because it's going to teach him put on more weight, run more into tackles, not necessarily all the time, but they're two different running backs. But sometimes you need to take some of the contact, because sometimes when you run away from it, you're avoiding too much, and you can get caught in the lower areas, which causes significant injuries. And so this teacher is going to show him how to be the best possible football player. But I believe we have a superstar, guys. We have a superstar. We have a superstar in Devon Achane. I mean, another Chris Johnson, it looks like. When he gets in the open field, he's gone. It's exactly what we drafted for, and we saw it last week. And now, I'm going to be real with you, Salvon Ahmed, probably not going to see the field too much anymore. I mean, Devon Achane is just 3 times better, faster, stronger. He's just better. And on top of that, I think Chris Brooks is going to get more playing time too after what he showed. But yeah, I think we have a superstar running back on our hands. And I'll make another video about this. Chris Greer is phenomenal. I mean, he's phenomenal. But yeah, I mean, Devon Achane is just going to be one of those guys that you just see for a really long time. And it's going to be another CJ2K. It's going to be another, who else can we describe? I don't know. It's kind of similar maybe to, maybe it's somewhat like a Kamara. I don't know, something like that, because his balance and weight was incredible. He could be like a mixture of like Chris Johnson or Alvin Kamara, because the guy looked awesome, and the speed is just, you can't match that, you know. I think Mike McDaniel picked the right running back, and I think he's going to be in this league. We found our franchise running back finally. So now we have our franchise running back, our franchise quarterback, our receiver, offensive lineman, Austin Jackson. I'll make another video about that too. Austin Jackson looks great. I mean, it's just, we found a lot of pieces this year, and it's exciting, man. So yeah, Devon Achane, I think we got a superstar in the making. Comment down below. Let me know what you think about this video. Hit that like and subscribe. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. Fins up, baby. Peace.